All right, we are live. Friday, everyone. Everyone's had a good week.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. How are you doing?
At work right now.
On the big truck, huh?
Yep, driving to Lubbock.
Nice. My dad, before he retired, drove a 18-wheeler. He drove to Michigan and back twice a week.
Mm,
So I know it's put a lot of miles on the road.
yep.
Whew, man, I just got done listing. Hey, how you doing, hot flip Heidi? How's your week been as far as reselling? Akisha,
Huh?
how's your week been?
I've had a few sales, not that many, not like last week when I was listing a ton of stuff, but I've listed a few things, high ticket items, and had to relist something a buyer didn't pay for. So
Yeah, love that when they don't
yeah.
go ahead and pay for it.
But Monday I
Yeah,
did a lot of sourcing, so I got plenty to start listing on Sunday.
that's good. Hey, what's going on, Scott and Bruce? Glad y'all could stop by. Hope everybody's doing doing well out there. Um, yeah, I just got today, and that's kind of one of my things. Like I'm in I always talk about it. I'm in Chris Lynn's, aka Daily Refinement, and his morning Patreon group, and like our focus has been listing, and like I'm just almost like obsessed with getting my listings up, but it seems like life always gets in the way. Like today, my wife is a teacher. I used to be a teacher before I quit at the beginning of the school year. She teaches she teaches Spanish, and at the high school that she teaches at, man, there've been a lot of teachers that have been sick with COVID. Quite a few students. They've had to forfeit some football games. And she just found out today that she has COVID. So she got home, and my daughter goes to high school there with her, so she also has it. And the funny thing is, like we've been tested a couple of times. She's been tested a couple of times because the teacher next to her's had it. So, trying to trying to take care of her, and you know, and as far as I know, I don't have any symptoms, so I think I'm okay. But now we got to worry about that as well. Um, Bruce took a
Are
little
they
mental
sick?
health.
Any symptoms?
Well, she has allergies this time of year already. So Wednesday, she made an appointment. She saw the doctor on Wednesday for allergies, and the doctor that's what the doctor thought she had, but she gave her a COVID test anyway just to be safe, and gave her a prescription for allergies. So she went to school today, and the doctor called during first period and told her she had COVID. So obviously she had to leave and come home. So her symptoms are pretty mild, just like allergy like symptoms, mild headache, sniffles, watery eyes, things of that nature. So we're hoping it's just going to be a mild case. I'm hoping we don't get it either, myself or my daughter. Let's see. Bruce in the comments said took a little mental health vacation, as in bare minimum daily rituals, not a full vacation. It was worth it. Batteries have been recharged. That's important, man. You do got to take some time to recharge because you can get burned out reselling. I I take Sundays off. I go to church or watch the service and just try to recharge. I'm probably gonna work about half a day on Saturday. Like tomorrow, I do need to. I got some drafts I need to get up and to hit my goal for the week. Bruce said he's seen claymation on the DR lives. DR. Wait. All right, fill me in, Bruce. Who's DR? I know he was on Buffalo Pickers last week, I believe. Um, So let me see. I think I set my. I don't even remember what I set my listing goal on our mastermind call on Monday. Do you remember? Were you on that call on Monday? Let's see. I know
What?
I'm trying to remember what I set my goal for listing wise. I know I wanted to beat 50, so I'm gonna see where I'm at so far. I got 1, 2, and here's a little trick. Like if you want to see how many listings you have up on eBay, just go to your email and in the search bar type eBay is live, because that's in the title when your listing goes live, and you can count. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 today, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm only at 34, but I still got listings going up tomorrow. I think I got 10 drafts that'll go live tomorrow, and I am going to break my record, which is 50. So I'm going to get at least 51. Because it's crazy. Like I look at like Chris, Daily Refinement, and his partner Tech and Sports. Like Tech and Sports does over. They both go over. They hit 100 listings a day by themselves, and that's what we were talking about on the Patreon call.
Man.
And he gave me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not there. Like I'm just trying to get 15 a day right now. But I am making progress.
Good to do 5.
Well, here's the key. Now, I think from what I've seen, you do a little bit of everything, and that's what I used to do, and that's great. Don't get me wrong; it's interesting, but you're never gonna get super fast that way. But if you do 1 to 3 niches, like right now, I'm doing shoes, and I added in pants and jeans. So when you do the same thing over repetitively, you just get faster at it. And there are some other
I like
tips
doing
in
the cards.
Cards? Yeah.
I like doing the bulk cards. Those are easy. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, yeah, that would be quick and easy. So I don't know if that's a niche you maybe just want to focus in, or what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Bruce.
I like the trading cards and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a small collection myself. I know I've got Adrian Peterson's signed rookie card because I had his niece in my class when I was teaching, and their family, like he has a home in Houston, and they would all meet down there, and she showed me pictures of him too. Like he would just be throwing out, well, not throwing, but handing out $100 bills to all the relatives like it was nothing. And she told me she was going to go skiing. I'm like, well, because I didn't know if she was telling the truth or not. I'm like, well, if you sing, I'd love to have a signed rookie card. And sure enough, she brought it back, and last I checked, it was worth about $400 a couple of years ago. So I still have it in my little collection.
Cool.
Bruce said, "Good point, Brain. I have always had an opportunity in regards to work-life balance. Yeah, it is important to have good work-life balance. I don't know. Like I just, man, Daily Refinement, Chris, man, he's so motivating to me, and I'm gonna join his podcast with Tech and Sports. Now, that dude is he's the only single lister or on the only single eBay store that does over $1 million a year by himself, and he does it in clothing. And his secret is he's a machine. He just sources a ton every day, and he gets it listed every day. So, and this is what we were talking about. That like my model's always been look for the higher ASP, the higher profit margin items, but this is what Chris was saying. Like if you can get 100 items listed a day at a $10, just a $10 profit margin, and those are everywhere. Like you could go to a thrift store and find those all day. $10 profit items.
Quantity.
If you could do that quantity, I mean, even half of that. If you could list 50 $10 profit items a day, that's 500 a day. If you did that 6 days a week, there's $3,000. I mean, you're looking at a 6-figure income. off. You could do that off of clothing or anything, but the key is you got to get the listing process down.
How does he not get burnt out from that?
He's a machine. That's a good question. Well, all right. Well, what he says, what Tech and Sports says, is that he keeps his why in mind, like he's doing it for his family, and I have that same why, and I think a lot of us do. But I mean, obviously, we use the metaphor. We compare listing to running, and like if you can list, and this is the number we've come up with. If you can do 15 listings a day, only 15. I say only. That's still quite a bit. 15 listings a day, 6 days a week. You're gonna make a full-time income reselling, because that's right around 100 listings a week. Even if you only get $10 profit per item, if you list that regularly, you're gonna be pulling in $1,000 a week reselling. And once you start to focus on it, you will get faster. Like I'm not nowhere near their level. I'm trying, but I am getting, my listings are increasing each week. And I can't really say because he doesn't want this shared, but we were talking about on his Patreon call, like he had he said he woke up like in the middle of the night with like this vision of how, because he wants to be able to list as much as Tech and Sports. Like Tech and Sports, I don't know how he's doing it. He's like 250 listings a day. And so he's got a plan, and he shared it with a Patreon group.
He doesn't have any help.
Well, he does have two people. He does. Both of them have two VAs or two helpers. And I can tell you one thing, like you could use Cellhound or Hammock. Like I've started using Hammock, a VA. And it's like $1.45 per listing. And basically I upload the pictures, the measurements, and they create the draft. I check it and it goes live. Now that by itself really speeds up the listing process. But both of them by themselves can do over 100 listings a day. And the funny thing is, I used to listing was not my favorite part. I think everybody loves the shopping part, but it's funny. Like once you get into the flow and kind of take it as a challenge, it becomes kind of fun. I guess we lost Akeisha there. And like today, I'm now adding clothing, specifically pants. And here's the other thing. I think when you have to get one niche down, like I think I've got shoes down really well. Like my shoe sales have taken off. One day, I think it was Thursday, I had 6 pairs of shoes that shipped out. And the profit margins I'm hitting on these shoes are right around $30 average. So, the shoes are selling for good money if you spent the time studying the soles, doing the research. And by the way, we have our own small little mastermind group that meets on Mondays, and that was the homework everybody got, was to study one niche, and they're going to come back. Everybody's going to come back on Monday. And
was it on Tuesday or Monday? Because I thought it got canceled.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's usually Monday. It was on Tuesday this week. Something came up, but yeah, on Tuesday. So if you can join this one coming up on Monday, we're going to share that, and because I think it's so important, and I don't think enough people do that. Like excuse me. It's good to be able to look up items in a thrift store, a garage sale, estate sale on your phone. That's valuable. But if you have that knowledge ahead of time, if you've been studying the soles and your niche or niches, when you get there, it's just going to speed up the process, and you're going to know what to look for. So I've got shoes down. So I've started adding time in to study pants and jeans, so I can add those niches in, because they're so plentiful. When you go out to a thrift store or a garage sale, you can find them all day long. And I've already listed 10 yesterday and 10 today. And like these, all these pants should bring a $15, $20 profit each. So if I could just get a ton of those listed, it should lead me, and keep up with the shoes, it should get me where I want to be. And there's so many niches out there. Like those are just a couple of niches. Like whatever niche you want to sell in. Like I've done electronics in the past, hard goods, collectibles. Hey, hot flip Heidi said, drivers, thank you for your service. I think that's going to you, Akeisha. She's appreciating it. And she also says my store has been on vacation. So she says, so about the same sales as usual. Well, and here's the thing, and like Tekken Sports was talking about this, like he has 24,000 items in his eBay
Items?
store.
Wow. How many do you
And
think he sell like daily or weekly?
he does about $4,000 in sales daily.
Oh, must be nice.
Basically, whatever you list per day, if you can do that consistently for 3 months, that's what you'll sell per day, roughly.
Yeah.
Assuming you're selling decent things.
So you don't think it's about like the overall amount of items in your store? It's about how much you do like list daily instead of your overall. You got 2,000 items.
Well, they both work together. I mean, so if you're listing, let's just use the number like if you're listing 100 items a day, I mean, your store is going to grow fast. Like I just hit 1,000 listings. I'm nowhere near where they're at.
I got
But
120.
hey, it's all about just growing it. But the more you list, and getting back to the metaphor, like he compares it to fishing, right? Like each listing is a hook. Like if you're fishing, it's a hook in the ocean. So the more hooks you have out there, the more likely you are to get a bite. And Chris, Daily Refinement, since he's been teaming up with Tekken Sports, like he's taken his to another level too. And he had his best single sales day this past week, where he had 100 packages go out in one day. So there's definitely a correlation. The more you list, the more you sell. You know, we got the algorithm that's being triggered. You have more items out there. It's just a good situation. And I know for me, I'm on a way smaller scale. Like I'm only getting about 50 items listed a week, and I'm definitely trying to grow that. But even as I've gone full time, going from maybe 15 or 20 items listed a week up to 50, I've definitely seen a big increase in my sales based on where I'm at. So yeah, the more you list, the more you're going to sell. Scott said, damn. How do you flips? Oh no, I'm so sorry. Shoot, I think. Oh, I guess you're talking about COVID. Yeah, it's it's pretty rampant right now. And Tuesday night we went because my daughter's a cheerleader. We went to go watch her cheer at a volleyball game at the high school. And when you go in, you know everybody's got to wear a mask to take your temperature. You're like, all right, I like this. Everything looks safe. We got our mask on. We go sit down. And a minute later, you look around, and about a third of the people on the stands aren't wearing their mask. They're walking around, talking, congregating. Then I look across the other side to the visiting team, and the same thing, if not more people, aren't wearing their mask. And as somebody that was a teacher as recently as this year, we can't hardly enforce dress code or gum chewing or things like that. So how are you it's really hard to enforce making them wear a mask even though they're supposed to. So the school districts make it sound like, oh, you know, everything's good, we're doing all these precautions. In a hypothetical world, that would be great, but the reality is a lot of these kids are coming from homes where their parents don't wear a mask and they think it's, you know, they've turned it into politics. And so sadly, yeah, I think you're right. At this point, I think it's a matter of time if before everyone gets it, or I mean, hopefully the vaccine comes out before that. Anyway, don't want to go down that rabbit hole too far. Yeah, we're just, you know, hopefully it's a mild case. And I know Scott's out there. Our other friend Kevin aka the Thrifting Lounge. You know, I know he's had it. He said he's had it a couple times. So it's pretty prevalent. But I mean, all you can do is control what you can control. So right now, and that's my thing. Like if I get sick now, like I've still got to get listings up. I've got to get orders out. So I can't afford to get sick because it's not like when I was a teacher where I had days I could take off. And that's the thing. Once you're a full-time reseller, you gotta, you know, you got to get those listings up. So all right. So you were talking about trading cards. What are your favorite trading cards? Oh, I don't know if you're, I think you're muted because I'm not hearing you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, I was like, honestly, I couldn't care less about cards, but postcards, none of that stuff. It's not a passion. I just like buying that stuff in bulk, easy to list, and you know, some people want to get quantity for a cheap price, and if I can find it, I've never had problem finding stuff. It's just the stuff that people want to buy. And I'm telling you, I'm running out of room since I do electronics and bigger stuff. I have to reorganize my whole little area where I'm storing my stuff. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I'm running out of room. And it's easy to, you know, store stuff like that, put them in flat rate box and stick them in the corner somewhere. So postcards, I got those, and I got a bunch of baseball cards. I bought over 8,000 baseball cards on last Saturday from the pawn shop for like $35.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a really good point. So you got to think about, there's the link if anybody else wants to jump on. You got to think about storage space. And like you, I used to do
That's the main thing.
A lot of electronics. Matter of fact, I still got some in my desk pile I haven't listed. It does take up a lot of room. Pain in the butt to pack. Like today, I sold some Fostoria ruby red glass plates, really pretty plates I picked up at an estate sale this summer. I made some good money on them, but it took a lot longer to pack those to make sure that they're not going to break in transit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do glass. I don't trust the post office or UPS or any of them with glass.
Oh, me either. And I've had some break, and I bubble wrapped them, individually boxed each one, put Fragile on it, and you know, I packed it really securely.
Yeah.
It was crossed my fingers.
Like they kicked it down the conveyor belt or something.
Yeah, I think they take it as a challenge almost when they see Fragile.
Yep.
And it's a shame because some of that stuff's, you know, like that vintage, antique, collectible stuff. And it's cool. I still do a little bit of that just because I find it interesting. But I don't know. We were just talking, going back to Chris, like, or tech and sports. Like he used to do different things, sell different things. But he was looking, he asked himself this question: what can I sell? So what is plentiful? What is abundant? And what can I sell a lot of? And that's why he decided to go with clothing.
Clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, when you walk into a thrift store, it's like 80% of it's women's clothing. And there's
don't forget the kids' clothes.
Yeah, and so much of it, you know, it may only be worth $10 profit, but there's so much of it. So then it's a volume game, and can you just get the number of listings? If you can get that down, then it works. But if you don't want to do that mass listing, then it's better to have a small store, you know, with higher profit items. What's up, Scott?
How's it going?
It's all right. How you doing?
Doing good. Good. I tried to get to an estate sale earlier, but I can't get over there, so I'll have to go tomorrow. But I did go to Eco Thrift and picked up some Xbox games and stuff like that, just having the collection. But I did sell one thing on Facebook Marketplace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, yeah, Facebook Marketplace. I met a guy and he bought a bunch, 4 or 5, well, about 10 games for $80. So that was good.
No.
I'm really digging. I know you guys are big into eBay, that I've been really big into Facebook with no fee.
You say Facebook Marketplace?
Yep. No fees is so nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you guys aren't on Facebook Marketplace selling, you should be. No fees. I think it's even free shipping.
Well, buyer pays for shipping, but yeah, they do have times where it's free shipping for the buyer, so that's good.
Yeah, I love it too. I've had some nice sales on there.
I thought I had read something where they have a 5% fee that they're going to start up like in January if you sell and take payments through Facebook.
Yeah, they keep on threatening, but they're not making it true so far. So
Yeah, but even at 5%, well, if you think about it, it's pretty obvious what they're doing. They're pulling in sellers and buyers right now. So yeah, eventually they're going to add a fee, but 5%, if they build up the marketplace, 5% is way cheaper than anywhere else. eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, any of them. That's a steal.
Yep, and you can do shipping only on there too for if you want to put that, or you can meet up or only or whatever. You can put that in your listing. So
yeah, hey Bruce, yeah, exactly what Scott said. That's what I do. I turn down meetups. There is a shipping only option, and that's all I do. I don't meet anyone. I don't have time to meet anyone right now. It's a waste of time. Once you start doing a volume game, yeah. Hot Flip Heidi says, yeah, but you're assuming everything you list is going to sell, and that's just not the case. Well, here's the thing, though, Heidi. We know that not everything we list is going to sell. That's true, right? And here's the other part of the equation. And I've just recently started doing this. We should be going back to our old inventory, at least monthly, and doing something with it, changing the picture, changing the title, dropping the price, doing something to get that old inventory moved out. But it works. I mean, and I guess the other part, and another piece of the puzzle is it depends on what we're selling too, right? Do we have it listed at the right price? Are we looking at sold and comps? Now, we all know, like I'll say for me personally, the things I sourced when I was first starting, and some of this, I got stuff going back to July of 2019 in my eBay store when I first opened it.
Mike, Stacy.
So I think we become better sourcers as we move along too, and that's where studying the solds is so important. I preach that. That's one of the first things I do each morning. I get my coffee, I pull up eBay, and I look in shoes. I sort pre-owned, solds over $35. I'll spend 10 minutes doing that. I do the same thing on men's pants, men's jeans. And so what I do is I build like a mental catalog in my head. So when I go to the thrift, I can quickly go through there and I don't have to waste time looking everything up on my phone. Like I already kind of know the brands and the models and the styles. So, I mean, yeah, if we have to source good stuff and then we have to price it right. And then if we list consistently, it does work.
Yeah, are you using Terapeak like Daily Refinement is? Because I saw him this video 2 days ago, and he was using Terapeak. I don't use Terapeak, but I think it's free for eBay sellers. So
yeah, if you have an eBay store, it's free. Yeah, I use it. Like matter of fact, just within 30 minutes ago, I sourced these Nike Shocks from like 2012, and then when I went on the eBay solds, I looked it up by style number, nothing came up. And so once I plugged it into Terapeak, a pair sold like 7 months ago for like $60. So if you're not using Terapeak, like if I wasn't using Terapeak, I wouldn't have known, and I wouldn't have known what those were worth, or maybe I don't even pick them up.
I thought you had to pay for Terapeak.
It's free if you have an eBay store subscription.
Now
I have a store, but gotta look again.
Yeah, if you just Google eBay Terapeak, it'll give you a link to it, and that's the easiest way to get there.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Bruce said, what about your seller profile? Does it have to be personalized or can it be business name generic? I mean, like your eBay? Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I think you could do your pages. You could set it up on your pages and sell it that way. So it's on your pages profile. But I don't think they have a seller's profile. So unless you do it like a business name or whatever, if you set up a whole new Facebook account with your business, then you could do that. And so that or you could do a page.
Be right back.
Yeah, and whatever privacy settings you have set, like will apply to your seller's account too. Now, I think they can see if your seller ratings.
Yep.
Like I think I have 25-star reviews, and
yeah, they can see your seller ratings, and they can also see what else you're selling, which is a huge help when you're buying stuff too. So you could look on there and see what else. Like I buy some stuff from a guy, and he had a couple Wii's, so I bought that, and he had a PlayStation on there, so I asked him about that too. So then it brought up all this other stuff he had. So yeah.
that's good for sourcing too if you're trying to source.
Yeah, exactly. Sourcing. And so always when you're talking to or buying off there, because I buy off there, buy off offer up and stuff like that, because I could sell the Wii's under console only, and if I could get them cheap enough, then part out all the rest of the pieces. Yeah.
Now, one thing I will warn against, and I was talking about this yesterday with Chris. Like once you get a lot of listings up, man, you will get so many messages through Messenger, all these stupid questions, and I was checking them all the time, responding. It was just killing my flow. I think that's part of the reason I wasn't hitting my listing goals, because I was stopping to respond to these questions. So
Right.
what I do now is I just once a day, and that's usually when I'm shipping in the morning, I check all the messages, I respond to everybody at one time, and then I ignore them for the rest of the time. Because I've also found out the more questions you ask, there's usually, not always, but usually you're not a serious buyer. Most of my people who buy, they don't ask me a dang question, or maybe they'll ask me a sizing question if it's a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful going down that.
I had someone like that last week. Kept messaging me asking for shipping discounts. And, is it new? Is it used? Did anyone ever use it before? And I'm like, I say everything in a listing.
Yeah, they think that you're their friend and not a business selling. So
yeah, it gets really annoying.
not that.
And I love this one. I get this one like, hey, I'm interested. I'm like, well, it's available. You can buy. And I have a template where I just copy and paste.
Yeah.
Buy the item's available. You can purchase it with the blue buy button on the bottom of the description. As soon as you purchase it, I will ship it out within 24 hours. Have a nice day. Just create a little template.
I thought eBay messages were stupid, but Facebook, I get a lot more stupider questions. So it's you just deal with it, I guess. And yeah, I don't answer them right away, but
But with all that being said, like I sell some shoes for some good money on there, and
exactly.
they're less likely to haggle for price compared to Mark or even eBay.
Exactly. Like the video games I sold today, $80. Didn't even ask me for a discount, nothing. He just gave me the $80 right here. Go, yep, that's it. No haggling, no nothing. So
that's nice. So there is I mean, we're focused on the negative. The positive outweighs. You just have to figure out how you're going to handle the more issues.
Yeah.
Same thing with eBay. Like I
got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
When I was making a listing, it looked stupid to me when I bought something a couple months ago. But when you're doing the price, it has start the auction, your lowest price for your auction, and you can click on the or best offer. When you have both of those on there, it looks weird because it said $6.99 starting bid or best offer. I was like, I'll give you $50. They're like, no, I'll take $150. I'm like, what happened to best offer? What's the point of having that when it's like that? That's weird.
You want to answer, Scott, or you want me?
Either which way. I know there's pros and cons to both of it, but it does look. I agree, it does look weird on there. I think sometimes you get a lot of people that give you low ball offers, so a lot of times I take it off. But if I price something really high, I put best offer on there. So does that? I don't know if that answers your question totally, but.
Yeah, like Chris, he says anything below 20, he's not going to do best offer. And it depends also. There's other factors. Like me, I run sales all the time. So if it's, I think Scott's right. Like if it's a higher price item, you definitely want best offer. And you could also set it where auto accept or auto decline, where you don't even have to see them. So you don't even know the low ball offers. Now, on an auction, what you're doing, you're setting your auction price, but it also gives the buyer the opportunity to buy it at your buy it now price. So that you get a serious buyer, it's kind of like you get the best of both worlds. But I'll tell you this, like I almost never use an auction because you're only going to get about 85% of the value on average through an auction.
Yeah, and eBay has become like a big. They create all these rules and all these exceptions and all this stuff, and it's for a new seller, it's tough. It's tough to navigate. And it's tough to find stuff on eBay too. I know Daily Refinement Chris was talking about that the other day, how to find a coupon that you could do or a QR code on there, and you have to dig deep to find those things, and eBay makes it so hard for all that stuff to click on, and it automatically goes to auction. Why doesn't it automatically go to buy it now, type thing? So it's, there's good and bad to everything, but the other reason I like Facebook is you don't have to put so many details in there. They look at the pictures mainly, and then they go from
Yeah, those are all good points, Scott. Now,
but if y'all saw something though, if you were looking and saw something that said $69.99 or best offer for like a GoPro, what would you do? Would you bid on it, or would you send them an offer for like $150?
I always send them an offer because I hate paying full retail, but I always send offers.
But what would your offer be? Would it be more than the auction price, starting price of $69.99 or lower?
Well, those people want to buy it from you now instead of waiting for the auction to end. So they want to buy it at a higher price. So and then some of them are just scammers. So you can either do one thing. You could wait till the auction ends and just take that one, or you could accept their offer and then the auction ends and stuff like that. So, but I wouldn't do either. If I do auctions, which is very, very rare, I just keep it as an auction because I'm already set to have it as an auction. I don't have a buy it now price.
Yeah, and if you do auctions,
no, it wasn't buy it now. It wasn't buy it now.
Right, but what I mean.
That's what's weird about it. See, y'all keep it was saying $69.99 or best offer, and I made an offer of $50 because it's best offer, and they were like, "No, I'll take like $150 for it." Like, what? That don't make sense. Why do you have best offer on here and it's more than your bid price? I didn't get that.
Now, one thing, I'm a big believer in Brickseek. So if you're looking for a GoPro, Walmart's going to be discounting their GoPro 8s pretty quick. So you could get those usually $99. So just a FYI, they did that last year with the 7. Now this year they're going to do it with the 8. And if you have Brickseek, you could check your local Walmarts when they come up here in the next couple of weeks. So,
yeah, we've also talked a lot OA recently, and like I think if you're in that game, if you're doing that game pretty heavy, like these Discord groups, these Bolo groups, you have to pay a membership. That would definitely be a worthwhile investment.
The only problem with those is once they give out a Bolo, then everybody's on it. So it's good for
that's true.
there is, because I'm a big fan, like just like you're a big fan of Chris's. I'm a big fan of Chris Grant on the OA challenge, and he's like a rabbit hole. You start with this and end up with this and this and this and this. So there's many ways to go. Like eBay, if you bundle stuff together on eBay, you're going to have a higher probability of selling it. If you bundle up VCR and remote and cables, you're likely to sell it over the guy that only has the VCR. If you bundle stuff on eBay, you can do that, and that's what tips and tricks on eBay.
That's good. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Bruce, I'll list basic clothing measurements. Any additional requested measurements have never resulted in a sale. It is not the best customer service, but it's worth my time. Yeah, I agree. What I'm doing, and I'm just getting back to clothing, mostly pants right now. Like I'll take a picture with the measurements, like on the pants. If it's men's, it's just waist and inseam. If it's women's, waist, inseam, rise, and the cuff. And even with that, we know that customers, they don't read the description. Sometimes they don't even look at all the pictures. So yeah, I wouldn't waste a lot of time on it. But I think, like for me, like that's where it comes back to the once a day. During this time period, I'm blocking this time period of customer emails, and I just hit them all, and I do them real quick. And but I generally agree with you. It's better to be listing than answering a lot of questions. But at the same time, some of those do turn into sales. Very rarely, but sometimes they do. Bruce means, for a $20 shirt to unpack it, measure the. Yeah, once it's packed up, I'm not measuring anything. So I think it's better to get those measurements. Now, I'm looking at I'm modeling off of Tech and Sports and Chris, because I specifically asked him this week, and he showed me pictures of his listings. And Tech and Sports has this cool, he uses 2-yard measuring sticks, so they're 36 inches long, and they're attached. So you can get like the chest and the length measurement in one picture. So it's pretty freaking awesome. And I think that's an easier way to do it than to plug in all those measurements in the description. Bruce said a lot of people run best offers just for the supposed algorithm boost. I've made offers on many items. Yeah. So yeah, you do get a boost on the algorithm. Anything you can get a boost that makes sense, go for it. If it makes sense. Heidi says, do you lease the baseball card? Do you list baseball cards individually? Look, I'm not sure what she's saying there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Scott?
I think she's asking if you bundle them up or list them up, look them up individually.
Okay.
Because I know baseball cards are hot right now, and even Pokemon is like the Pokemon craze is like crazy right now, and it's like if you have any old Pokemons, dig them up now because they are selling. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I bundle all my baseball stuff up, postcards, all of that. I don't know anything about those, and I have thousands at a time. That would take forever.
It would take forever, yeah. But I think the one way to do, like if I was going to do individually, back to the question, I would get another scanner and scan them in, and that would be my picture, because you can just scan them, and then you could just do a listing off that. And then also if they weren't worth that much, I'd just put a stamp on them and send them. But yeah, if other scanners like $150, the little thing that sits on your desk, you just feed them, and that's your picture. So and high quality pictures that you just download and put them in your eBay listing. So
yeah, that's
back when I was going to start my postcard empire. I bought one of those. I got one I need to sell because I'm not going to use it.
Well, at least let me know, because I think I want to buy one.
All right. I'll look it over when I get home, because I don't want it. All right.
I know that's what the auction professor, he uses for like vintage antique postcards, and he can do like 30 an hour using that scanner. And I think that's kind of the key point, though. Like, if you're going to get in that niche, you got to kind of learn it, because what if you bundle a card that's worth $1,000? And I mean,
I'll never know it because I'll never look it up.
Well, another thing that Brother Printer's good for is scanning your receipts. That's another thing. If you're doing a lot of that, it's good for scanning receipts. But yeah, if you're gonna sell, I'll buy it.
Okay.
yeah, Bruce likes auctions a little bit.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
So y'all don't like auctions.
Well, you know what? If I would, if I was in the pallet game, if I had, the pallets that you get from Amazon or Walmart or Target or whatever like that, I would auction all that stuff off. I would have it for a week and get rid of it in a week. I want to get rid of all that stuff as quickly as possible. So.
Yeah, it is good if you want to blow out your inventory. If you've got old stale inventory, you just want to get rid of it, get something back, then yeah, I'd run an auction. But in general, I like to know, I like to figure out what my item is worth based on sold price accordingly. Take good pics, good description, and it will. But if you have no idea, then I guess auctions are viable, but you're not going to get what it's really worth. Because when you're doing auctions, the time window of people looking at it is shortened. Because like those Fostoria plates I sold today for like $70 or $80, I listed them this summer. And so if I put that on an auction, the odds of my buyer finding it are very small. But if I just list it at the right price, it may sit for 6 months, but eventually it's going to sell because I've looked at solds and I know what the value is based on the market. And that's a much better way to go. Heidi said, I messed up my entire eBay store.
I'm like the opposite of that.
But I think that's the key, though, is like you've got to know what they're worth. If you don't know what they're worth, then yeah, I guess an auction. If you're doing volume and if you're just getting a bunch of them and you don't want to,
Yeah, I get too much stuff to sit there and research every little thing. I want it gone.
Yeah, if you want it gone, then that auction's the way to do it. If you're gonna just blow out all your inventory and ready to ship it out, then that's a totally different story, for sure.
And there are some really big eBay clothing sellers that do pure auction, but they're doing such massive volume and they've got repeat customers and they've built up such a big customer base where those customers are kind of competing against each other. So their auctions do better than just a small store with no real following. Heidi said, I messed up my entire eBay store changing 50% of the items into a press. It is incorrect. So I have a lot of fixings to do. Could be part of my problem. Yeah, if you got the pricing messed up on like half of your items, that would be a hot mess. 450 items, yikes. Bruce said, I've also used the picture measurements using 2 aluminum tape.
Do you ever have problems?
Problems with what?
eBay putting your stuff on best offer automatically when you really don't freaking want best offer.
Are you talking about like, so you're starting an auction and
No, I list my items by now for like $21.99 plus shipping, and then after like 4 or 5 days, email will be like, "Great news! We put your stuff on best offer for you." You're like, "Ah, I didn't want that," and you got to go back and manually change it back to take off that best offer. It does that to me every single time I list anything. A few days later, and it pisses me off because I got to go in and redo everything.
Yeah, that sounds like a glitch in their system. Because no, it shouldn't be doing that.
They don't do that to y'all?
Well,
oh my God, they send me an email every few days saying good luck.
But then again, I don't do any auctions.
None of this, all of this is by now, no auctions.
On Chris's call the other day, he talked about turning off all those notifications. I think I would do that. Just
Yeah.
No, if I did that, then I'd be getting offers for stuff, and I'm like, that's not best offer, and I go look. eBay automatically switched everything after a few days to best offer, and I'm like, this is buy now. No best offer was added. They automatically do it, and they send me an email. Guess what we did for you? Like, I don't want you doing me no favor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Heidi says that's true. I have a chunk of crappy stuff I won't buy. Yeah, we get you. And that's the thing. You've got to take reselling as a long game. I think a lot of people come into reselling, they watch a couple of videos, and I think it's easy money. There's good money, definitely. And it's not easy or hard, but it is work. And if you're not willing to put in the work and think of the long game, then it's going to be a problem. But yeah, if you do go with the long game, you're going to get better as you go. And that's why I'm such a big proponent of only doing a few niches, because it's easier to become an expert in 1, 2, or 3 areas if that's where you're spending your time, versus a generalist who's buying a little bit of everything. You'll know a little bit about everything. I think that's a good way to start, and that's how I did it. And then just kind of narrow it down into what you like and where you think there's good opportunity.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get off here. So I don't know if you guys have any other questions or whatever, but
I have a question. Give me one. Give the audience one good RA Bolo. What should they look out for if they're trying to buy something to flip from retail arbitrage?
This right here. That's
Clorox.
one of them.
Sanitizer.
Yep. This is hard to get, but Family Dollar for $3, and it sells on Amazon for 20 something.
Nice.
So, and then also I talked about these before. So this is the crushed watermelons. I don't know if you're you can sell them on eBay or Amazon. Let's see what else I got that would sell. Christmas candy coming up is going to be huge. And yep, I showed you that one. But I'm not going to get that one on there. So
no, I understand that. Well, I just asked him because I know Scott. Hey man, check out his channel, Dumpster Diver Dad. Scott knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Video games for Christmas, and on Amazon and eBay, both of them, new and used. So if you got video games, list them. People are going to be looking for stuff to do during Christmas break and stuff like that, and people are going to be wanting video games for their collection. So there was a spike during COVID. COVID going on. They're still pretty high on prices, so you can go in RA. You could go to Walmart RA and pick those up, or you can even I picked up, like I said earlier, the whole bunch of original Xbox games for $2 a piece. That we're going 10 to 15 on eBay and Amazon, but I'm going to line them up as 20 and sell them for $100. So
nice.
And I have $27 into it. So
sweet. I like it. Good tips.
There you go. And then if I could think of anything else off the top of my head.
Scott, you're on Facebook?
I am on Facebook, yeah. So I'm in the group. I'm in both groups. And
okay, I'll contact you about the scanner.
Yeah, if you can't find me, Brian can find me. So
okay.
Holiday stuff is going to be off the hook this year. Toys, games, all that stuff, because everybody's going to be shopping online. I know Chris talked about that before. But it's going to be more true than you know. So another tip, one more tip, in your mail or whatever, Target's giving you $10 off, $10 off of toys and games. So that's free money right there. And then also like Hasbro 2 days ago with Keepa, Hasbro had half off games. Everything was half off on their games the other day. So that would have been good flips for you. So all that stuff. So. Just giving you a whole wealth of knowledge.
There you go. Good stuff, man.
Keepa is your friend. You can look up anything for Amazon as you can, like Terapeak on eBay. So Keepa.com, and it's like $16-17 a month. So you can find all the deals on Amazon for that. If you could look for whatever category or whatever, you could just hit the deal section. It's free on that part. You hit the deal section, and you can pull up all the deals. You can pull up stuff that's going to be coming up on Black Friday or on Amazon. All their sales that they're going to be having, all that stuff. Oh, and if you can find the new Xboxes or PS4s, sell them on eBay because they're going for twice or 3 times as much money. So, but nobody can find them.
The PS5s or
PS5s, yep, and the new Xbox, yep. But nobody can find them. They're all.
Also, the Nintendo.
What's the new Xbox called?
The Xbox S, I think it is. I can't remember off the top. I know. Yeah, they got the hard drive model, and so trying to put GameStop out of business, I'm sure. But, yeah, you got to download all the games on that one, and then there's the other one. So, but PS5 and the new Xbox. So. Those are going to be they're already selling on eBay for double the money. So, and Pokemon too. Get the new packs of Pokemon, and hold on to those till late November, early December, and you'll double your money on those too. I forget what those are called. What packs were those called? The new Pokemon ones?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's if you want to double your money, just hold on to those.
Just catch them all.
Yeah, no, there's like a box. There's a new box. I forget what it's called, but they're going $50 a box. I think I saw where Chris picked up some too.
One of those Pokemon.
Yeah, but
some of those are great money.
Yeah, I know everybody's opening them up and getting looking for all the Charizards and all the other rare ones, but holos and all that stuff. I never got into Pokemon, so I don't know all the things to look for. So, but you can find those at garage sales too. You can find people selling garage sales and
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, Magic is the other one. So.
Right.
Yeah. So anything else I can help you with? I'll just start selling whatever whatever. Yeah. You can. There's a reason people are not going out to the stores, so take advantage of that.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah.
And Q4 is hot already, because of people are buying right now. I'm selling Christmas candy right now, so that tells you. Yep. I've never sold candy this early.
Right before Halloween.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So, anyways, I gotta go, guys.
All right. Thanks.
My daughter's
all right.
10th birthday, so I gotta get dinner and stuff like that. So,
happy birthday to her.
Yes. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's catch up on the chat. Heidi says, "All right, you can go back a year on Terapeak." Yep. I guess I'd have to log into eBay through the mobile browser to access Terapeak in the wild. Yeah, it's not the best via mobile. Bruce said I should note I only use auctions for collectibles. And then Heidi asked, desired collectibles or any collectible? And Bruce said desired, such as trading cards. Heidi says, if you go on Messenger, you get pulled into social media. Like, I don't spend a lot of time on social media anymore. I only use it for business, to be honest. Well, not only, but very little social part, because it is a rabbit hole. I just don't have time. Like, I'm trying to scale my business, and I just don't have time for things. I do shut off at a certain time. It's usually around this time of day, and then it's family time, and I try to keep away from business. But social media, man, you can, like Gary, do you want to be a consumer where you just sit and waste your time watching things, or do you want to be a creator or you want to put your time to use and things that will help you get where you're trying to get. And don't get me wrong, I love scary movies and I'll watch that, but if you're spending most of your day just consuming mindlessly, I mean, and if you hate your job, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. There's so much opportunity out there. Bruce said,
I
I have
mainly
seen,
use social media to learn stuff.
yeah, that's good. Bruce said, I've seen that happen with eBay adding best offer without your permission. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen that, but I believe y'all.
Hmm.
Heidi says, Depop method.
Oh my God, they do that all the time.
Will you hold it till payday? Like, I have sold on Depop. Now, from my understanding, Depop's good for like vintage clothing, but it takes time to cross list. So if a site like Depop is not bringing me a lot of business, I don't want to waste my time. So I'm currently not even on Depop.
What about Etsy? You ever looked into that?
Etsy is like more unique things, or I mean, you can sell like vintage items on there, or if you create things. I know Etsy's grown a lot. Like they're a rapidly growing company. I'm not currently on there though, but I think there's certain niches it works for. Heidi says because they're there thinking that it's going to get raised up and they expect the best offer to be over their minimum auction opening bid, but maybe they'll take less. I bought a regular sized deck of Pokemon cards at Walmart recently. Catching up on the chat. Thank you. And by Triple D. All right, we are caught up on the chat. Yeah, Scott, Dumpster Diver Dad, he does some dumpster diving videos, which are pretty interesting because stores will throw away really good merchandise. Sometimes you could go dumpster diving and come out of there with some valuable stuff you could resell. But his main thing is he makes most of his money on Amazon doing retail arbitrage. Bruce says Etsy charges per listing, and it's not worth it for me as a casual cross lister right now. Great for vintage clothing and collectibles. Yeah, I agree with all that. Does anyone out there, like I use List Perfectly to cross, and like for me, doing primarily shoes and clothing, eBay, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace. I'm on Mercari a little bit, but that's more of my wholesale like jewelry items because I don't know. I just didn't have a whole lot of luck on Mercari on those other items. So are you guys cross listing? That's a good question. Who cross list? Do you cross list manually? Do you use the service to save time to cross list? What about you, Akisha? Are you just on
I
eBay?
rarely cross list. I'm on eBay. I have a little bit on Poshmark, but it's Poshmark. I don't cross list the items. I might have one or two items cross listed on my Poshmark and eBay, and I've listed a few things on Facebook, but not really. I don't know. It just weirds me out. Facebook. I keep thinking I'm gonna meet some creepy dude who's like kind of weird, and I don't know about Facebook. I said I'm a
Yeah, we lost your audio again right after you talk about the creepy dude. Bruce said, "I'm go over here. We just can't hear your audio. We lost your audio." Bruce said, "I have used List Perfectly. Currently using Vendu. Yeah, I've heard Vendu's good also. Um, Also, Hammock, the VA I'm using, Hammock also gives you the option where they will cross list. I think it's 5 cents for you, but I did the math, and to me, it was cheaper perfectly because I think I pay like $49.99 a month, but it's unlimited amount of cross listing.
I'm gonna start cross listing more on Facebook to give it a shot. Big bulky stuff.
Yeah, I think Facebook. These are my thoughts. I think Facebook is realizing when you think about the billions of people that use Facebook, their marketplace is a sleeping giant. If they put the money and the resources into it, they can challenge eBay or really any market. They just got to get it up to date. And I think they realize that, and they're slowly moving in that direction. So my thought is get in early, build up your profile, because it's only going to get better. And yeah, there are some issues along the way. But like I've already got 100 items sold on Facebook Marketplace, probably in the past 6 weeks or 2 months,
Oh,
maybe.
really?
Yeah, so it's definitely a
Oh, that's good.
very valuable platform. But I think anything, it comes down to volume,
So you
right?
usually
Like,
just cost list a bit bigger stuff?
no, everything. I sell a lot of wholesale jewelry on there, but I also have been selling a lot of even pre-owned shoes. Like I sold a pair of Thorogood like winter snow boots for like $75 on there this week with no fees. So I think it's going to be growing. Now I've got to test out. Like I don't know what the market for like used clothing is on there. I'm just now getting back into that, so I'll have to experiment to see if it's worth it on there. I know that does great on eBay and Poshmark. Heidi says, I haven't had much luck with Facebook Marketplace, but maybe I'm just putting up the wrong things. It's like specific. Yeah, and that's the thing. Each marketplace, we have to kind of figure out, each marketplace does better in specific niches. Like eBay's everything. Poshmark, clothing, shoes does well. You can sell
Yeah.
home goods, but you don't get a lot. I don't personally get a lot of traction on there. And so you got to kind of figure out what's Facebook Marketplace going to be good at. Like I can tell you, if you do wholesale jewelry, it's great. I've also done pretty well on pre-owned shoes on there as well. What's the pricing,
I got a
Bruce?
question for you.
All right, let me ask this, and then I'm gonna get Bruce. What's the pricing between Vendu and List Perfectly? I haven't really looked into Vendu, so I'm curious. Yeah, what's your question, Akisha?
You said you have 1,000 items and that you're in your garage. Do you like plan to have like double that or you're cool with around 1,000 items?
No, I want more. I just ordered. Well, you can't. Let me see. I don't know if you can see. All right, so this row right here of shelving, that's my third row. And here's my table, like my prep table, my shipping table, my shoes to list. I've got a spot for one more shelving unit, and over here is like my shipping station. So I've got a spot for one more shelving shelving unit, which I've ordered off of Walmart.com, and that next week will be filled up, and then I'm going to be in the market for a storage unit. Got to be close because it's got to be convenient to pull inventory and to have access to. And I'm going to scale. Like I've seen, like I'm a disciple. Y'all hear me talk about Chris all the time. I think Chris is a genius. And now Tech and Sports, I'm also joining their group. I've just seen what they've done. They've just scaled up, and both of them. And so, if you can make, and I don't know how far I want to go, and I don't know what I'm capable of. I know right now I'm doing it full time, but I see what they're doing, and I want to get to that level where I can do 6 figures plus. And I know it's just a matter of volume. So if that means paying $100 a month for a storage unit, I mean, I'll have to see what the price is. I haven't rented a storage unit in a while. And by the way, that's an expense you can deduct on your taxes
You ever
too.
thought about a warehouse or a store shed?
Yeah, well, because of the HOA, I can't do a storage shed in our place. That would be a great option if I could. But I think the warehouse is the step above. Like from everything I've seen of big sellers, you go from your garage, your house, you get a storage unit. Like Chris is still using, he has 2 storage units, and Tech and Sport has a warehouse. So, I mean, it all comes down to
I
your
want to get a
expenses.
work shed.
Yeah, if you can fit one on your property. Yeah, I know you were talking about that. That makes
Oh,
perfect
I'm in the
sense.
country. I'm out in the country. I can put a big 10 by 40 on my property.
Nice. Well, that would be
Just
cost
want to
efficient.
pay down some stuff first. Yeah, pay down some stuff and get that. And my house is getting so cluttered with all this reselling stuff.
My whole garage is taken over. Like there's nothing that.
Yeah.
So, the only thing I would say, it sounds like you're really motivated. I would just say, make sure that you're in it for the long term before you take on that big expense, because some
Exactly.
resellers burn out. Just make sure you're in it for the long term before you do it. But yeah, that makes perfect sense otherwise.
I've been doing it part-time pretty, decently since last April of 2019, where I've had the store, been paying for the store, my listings, and, list stuff here and there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good time. I mean, yeah, I did it part-time for like 3.5 years before I made the full-time move. Hey, what's up? What's up? You getting hungry? Yeah, we'll do nachos in just a few minutes, okay?
Mom said we should get burgers.
All right, well, we'll talk. Give me 10 minutes and I'll come talk, all right? We're at the house, we're getting hungry, so we'll get 10 minutes. But yeah, it sounds like you're see the money, and if you're passionate about it, like for me, I don't know, I love this whole reselling business. It's fun. Heidi says, I like List Perfectly. I do too. Bruce says, Vendu's pricing is tiered depending on how many listings you want to make it a month. You can change your plan monthly. Okay, that makes sense. He's grandfathered into Vendu with a few thousand open drafts remaining, so my story is different. I can pay the bare minimum right now. Okay, so they got a tiered listing, but you can keep everything you've listed in your database if you were to do that and list good. Yeah, the thing about List Perfectly, if you're doing inventory management through List Perfectly, it can add up pretty expensively. I'm doing the inventory management myself. I use my SKU number to track down my inventory. So I just have different tabs. If something sells on, I copy paste that SKU number into Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, whether it's in the title or the description. That'll pull up the listing. I can list it. I can delist it pretty quickly. The other thing with Hammock, for 10 cents an item, for 10 cents a platform, they will delist for you. That's pretty cheap. So I think Hammock is a great option, and they're going to become a big player. Yeah, Bruce said I spent about $150 1 month just to make 4,000 drafts and went back down to my usual monthly cost. That's a lot of drafts, man. You were on fire that month. 4,000 drafts, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Be lucky to do 30.
Well, I mean, all right, and I don't think I ever finished the slide. This will probably be the last thing I'm going to end with. We and Chris's Patreon, because a lot of us are runners, and I'm just beginning to run again. You can look at listings as a metaphor with running, right? When you first start running, I mean, you're lucky if you can walk a mile, right? It's the same thing with listings. You can't begin as a reseller and expect to list 100 items a day. That's insane. If you can get 15 listings up a day, we equate that to be able to run a 5K. So you're being able to run about 3 miles, which means you're in pretty good shape. You're a good runner, but you definitely you're not a marathoner yet, and you're not an ultra marathoner. I think like Tekken Sports and Chris are like ultra marathoners. They're doing 100 listings a day. I'm at the point where I can get about 15 listings per day, but I want to keep pushing that. I want to get to the point where I'm like them, where I'm getting 50 listings a day, 100 listings a day. There's little tips and tricks. Anytime you can save a little time here, you can streamline your process. It's all about, and that's why I love Chris's program. It's called Daily Refund. It's getting a little bit better each day. Those small little incremental improvements over time, they lead to big results. And I can tell you personally, like I'm implementing them and I'm seeing myself grow. So I try to share that with people who are interested, because I think that's what you want to go with. And just like running, you're not going to start off and build a run. You can't list 100 items a day either, but you can slowly build up. You can list one a day, maybe the first week, maybe week 2 you add another one. You're going to do two a day, not a week, a day. And then you just slowly build up. If you started day 1 reselling, listing one item a day, which anyone can do, and you added one extra listing per day each week, by the end of the year, you'd be at 53 listings. You'd be at 53 listings, and that's a substantial amount. So I think it's just a process, and we have to build up. And we got to be patient, but at the same time, look for ways to improve. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox here. Bruce says they were empty. Oh, not empty drafts. I was about to say, if you did 4,000 drafts, holy moly, you were the man. Like I put up 50 drafts yesterday with Hammock, and that includes taking pictures with measurements, just a couple of little information. I submit that to them. They create the draft for me. They bring it back to me the next day. I review it, and it goes live. Now, it takes a little time because your VA is a person that's doing this. And so they have to communicate with them to learn how you want to do it, just like if it was somebody that was listening for you in person. And over time, that person should get better, where eventually, once they send me the draft, I don't even have to check it. I'm just going to click submit because I know they got the pricing down, they've got the description, the title, all the item specifics down, but it takes a little bit of time to work towards that. And I'm working with my VA, and we're getting there. And he's getting better. Shout out to Peter in India, my man, if you're listening. And ultimately, once he has it down, because I can take the pictures quickly, I can create the draft quickly. Here, let me give it. It's Hammock. It's HAMMOQ. It's like Cellhound, but it's cheaper. Cellhound, I think, I looked into it, it's like $2 listing if you buy 400 for the month. Hammock is $1.45 per listing, and if you want extra stuff, it's extra. But like it's just $1.45 for eBay. If you wanted it cross-listed to say 2 other platforms, and you want them to delist it after it's sold, it comes out to about $3 a listing. I did that at the beginning, but now I'm just using Hammock to get it on eBay because that saves me a lot of time filling out all those item specifics. So $1.45 is not that much. Then I use List Perfectly to send it to the two other platforms I primarily use, and that's pretty cheap. Yeah, check it out. It's cheaper than Cellhound. Cellhound is great. It's like Cellhound. I have used Cellhound in the past. Cellhound is good. And this is the thing, whether it's Cellhound or Hammock, the VAs that create those listings, like once you become good, they're not going to be as good as you, but over time, they're maybe 70 to 80% as good as you are. But if it's saving you 5 to 7 minutes per listing, you're able to get more listings up. The more listings you get up, just like we were talking about with tech and sports, the more sales you're going to make. You're going to scale it. You can hit that $4,000 a day, maybe one day. That's the dream. I'd be happy with 1,000 a day. All right, I just got pumped up, but you can see how, and that's the other thing about being in his Patreon group, man. It pumps when you surround yourself. All right, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, whether it's social media or in person. So I'm in Daily Refinement's Patreon call. There's 20 to 25 people that are like me. They're intense. They want to get business right. When you surround yourself with those type of positive-minded people, like that energy feeds into you, and you just do more. Not to mention all the knowledge you get, little tips and tricks. Matter of fact, I get too many little tips and tricks in there. I can't execute all those, and that's what we're always talking about. There's too many, but if you can selectively pick one here, pick one there, incorporate that, and to make your business a little better, it's going to help you get where you want to get. I'm getting fired up. All right, Heidi said Facebook and Posh. Yeah, I also use Mercari on a few items. Mostly, like I do some wholesale items, mostly jewelry. That I do well on Poshmark. They do okay on Mercari. They do pretty well on Facebook Marketplace. Some of it I even sell on eBay if I buy a large lot of it. All right, this is gonna be the last one. I gotta head out of here. My family's hungry. Said, isn't Mr. Buys a lot having a warehouse and everything? Must go auction today. Yeah, I'm not sure. Guess I don't follow him. And that's the other thing. Like, there's so like, and Akisha was talking about this. There's so many knowledgeable people on YouTube. I just follow a few that kind of or in the niches that I want to be in. So I don't know. I don't follow that person. I mean, it could be a good thing. I know. And here's the other thing. Last thing is that I used to do storage units. Wade's Ventures. Uh, actually, I met Ryan. He's in the Dallas area. We did a couple auctions together in person. A really good guy. And when you buy in bulk, like what Akisha's talking about, you buy a storage unit, and you could find, don't tell them what you could find. Like, I bought a Nike unit, I bought my Nike, and it probably made me $10,000 on a $100 unit over the course of a year. So buying in bulk can really benefit you. I just feel like I'm rambling right now, but it's also a lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah.
A lot of sorting. Where currently, I'd rather just go to thrift stores and have that knowledge base where I find the items that other people don't know they're valuable and do that in volume. New stuff is cool. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there. Yeah, but I agree. New stuff is cool, but there's also that balancing of time versus like I think whatever niche you're in, like you want to study those people that are experts that are all right. This is what it comes down to. If you want to be like a daily refinement or a tech and sports, you need to study how they do it, right? In YouTube, there are some experts on there, and that's how I learned at the beginning. But once you kind of narrow down your niches, I would say just focus on those people that you want to be like, because there's so much content out there that you can get lost in it. And instead of spending 20 hours watching new content, I'd rather spend X amount with a few channels that I know are going to get me where I want to get. Now, there is a social element too, and that's where I'm at right now. As a reseller, when I was a teacher, you had all that the social interaction. I don't get that now. So YouTube, there's a social element that I like, which is important too. Bruce said, thank you, bring us together. Thanks, Akisha and Heidi. Take a great week. All right, I think that's a good close. Yeah, thanks everyone for dropping by. Akisha, drive safely out there. Good luck finding all those Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And oh, by the way, if y'all want to join the mastermind call on Mondays, I think we had 4. Yeah, it was Tuesday, but normally it's on Mondays. Join the 7 Sticks reseller group. Here, let me put that in the chat real quick. Let me link that, because I put the link to our mastermind group. We meet on Mondays, and we goal set and we problem solve. And
What time?
I think it's usually at 4 or 5 p.m. What time? What is your schedule like, Akisha, by the way?
I work on Tuesdays and Fridays, but during the week next week, another driver got COVID, him and his wife. So I got to cover some shifts for him next week. So I can, if it's like this on this StreamYard, I'm glad it's like this instead of that Zoom. I can be there.
Okay, yeah, and I think we're going for Monday. It's usually on Monday. So there's the link. Okay. Anybody that wants to join us, we meet on Zoom. It's not, it's not live on YouTube.
I can't do Zoom. Yeah, I can do StreamYard. I can't do Zoom. Zoom, okay. I can't get into it on my cell phone. I like this better anyway.
Yeah, well, this we do on Fridays. I also have a Patreon group where I will, where I put these videos, so I can share that link with you next week also if you can't make the call. Yeah, it's free. It's a free mastermind group. We just come together trying to help each other, set goals, accountability, and problem solve. Kind of everything we're talking about, but just a little bit more focused and specific with people involved. So check it out. Join the Facebook group, and then Monday I will put the link to our Monday mastermind call. I think it's either 4 or 5 p.m. Central Time. And we had a great call last week, and I think it can benefit you guys. Anyway, I gotta go. They want burgers, so I gotta go take care of dinner. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe, guys. Thanks for dropping by, Keisha. We're out.
All right. See you.
Bye.